Hi everyone, welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Mary if you're new here, and today I have another book haul for you all. If you remember back in May, I believe, I uploaded what I called my biggest book haul ever, which I definitely was. And in that haul, I included the picks that I was able to get at a Penguin House friends and family book sale. It happens twice a year, and I mentioned that it will most likely happen in November and that I didn't know if I was going to go or not, and I ended up going. I did get 3 boxes of books, but 2 are for my own collection and 1 was for gifts, so I will share with you all the 2 boxes of books that I was able to snatch up. And overall, my 3 boxes of books ended up being a little over $100. So that is about probably $1 a book, which is quite crazy. I am very, very thankful for the ability to go to these sales and for the access. Without further ado, let's just get into this. As you can see, I have a box here with me, and then I have one by my feet here. So we're just going to kind of speed round through all of these books. Grab your tea because it might be a long one. I'm going to try keeping it short, but I have a tea here because my voice is already feeling quite scratchy, which is not good. Let's start off with a book that I actually already read, and that was With Love from Cold World. This will be in my next video. This book is basically about, it's like a enemies to lovers between 2 co-workers. It kind of gives the Hating Game vibes, but not as angsty and as good, I would say. But the cover really attracted me. I did not read the debut novel from this author, Love in the Time of Serial Killers, but I heard mixed things about it. And yeah, I would say this was an okay book. It wasn't amazing, but I'm sure if you enjoyed her first book, you would probably like this book. For me, it was mostly the writing that I didn't really like. But yeah, I picked this one up. I'll probably give this to one of my friends who hasn't read this because I don't know if I'm going to keep it. I'm just going to pick randomly out of this box, so it might go from genre to genre, but we gotta do the best we can with what we have. The next book I got was Will They or Won't They by Ava Wilden. I really liked this cover, and I think this is giving me like fake dating vibes. Okay, so it's like 2 actors that are dating on screen, and off screen I don't think that they're dating. Anyways, I really enjoyed this cover. I don't think I've ever seen this book before, but I'm really excited to pick it up. The next book I got, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I need to get it because I am obsessed with Christmas and I love Christmas books and all of that stuff. And so I got this book called Once Upon a December by Amy Richard. Sorry if I butchered that. I don't know, again, what any of this is about, but any Christmas book, especially with a romance in it, count me in. I'll probably really like it. I think it's like these pink covers that really attract me, and it kind of reminds me of like Happy Place with the brightness. But this is called The Sweetest Revenge by Lizzie Dent. That's so funny. Emily Henry, author of Happy Place, is the review on the cover. But I think I read another book by Lizzie Dent before, and I enjoyed it. I may be making that up. The Setup. Oh, I have that book right here. That is why her name is so familiar to me. I bought this at the last book sale. I still haven't read it because I think it was giving me fall vibes. I should probably pick it out and read it now. But anyways, again, these covers, romance covers, are always so great. And it says, her past is a mess, but her present is about to get delicious. The next book I had quite mixed feelings about, but I did get it, and that is Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. I have her book here, Every Summer After, if you can see it here. And that book, I loved like 90% of the book until we got to the plot twist of the book, and I hated the end result. And so I'm hoping this goes in a different direction. I will give it a try, and if not, I have a few friends that love this author that I will happily give them this copy to because I know they don't own it yet. The next book we have here I'm also so excited about, and it's The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. I've been seeing so many great things about this book, and I think it's a series, and some of my friends have also raved about it, and it's about a prim and proper lady thief must save her aunt from a crazed pirate and his dangerously charming henchmen in this fantastical historical romance. Yeah, I'm gonna eat this up. I love historical romance and I don't read enough of it. The next book we have is Set on You by Amy Lee. I've also seen so many amazing things about this book and also some mixed things. And I believe this woman is an influencer that is like a gym influencer, and something happens. She meets a firefighter, Scott Ritchie, who is a new smug gym patron. Interesting. Okay, this might be fun. I will see what happens with the whole influencer trope, because I don't exactly love when social media is a big part of romance books or any books in general, but maybe this will be a good one. The next book I got, they had a lot of this, but it's Loath to Love You, which is Ali Hazelwood's novella collection. So I haven't read any of these, and I do enjoy me some Ali Hazelwood once in a while, so I think I will definitely read these soon. One of my friends did say that they are very similar, so to kind of pace them out and not read them back to back, or else, you're not gonna really enjoy all of them. So I think I'll do that. Just like read one, pick up another book, and then come back to it. The next book I got, this cover was so funny. Business or Pleasure by Rachel Lynn Solomon. And it's the author of The X Talk, which I did read and I did enjoy that one. So I'm excited to pick up this book and see what it's all about. The next book I got, I saw the cover and I kind of walked past it, and then I kept seeing it like in some different sections at the book sale, and this cover was just catching my eye, so I picked it up. I read the synopsis, and it just looked like, just look at it. It's called Go as a River by Shelley Reed, and I have seen it in many different places. I just love this cover. I love the edges. I love everything about it, and I believe this is a more literary fiction type novel, but I'm really excited to pick it up. It looks fantastic, and I think it'll be a tearjerker. Just going off vibes, I think it will be. The next book I got is X's and O's, again by Amy Lee, who also wrote Set on You. This one I've also seen so many good things about it, even more than Set on You, and one of my close friends also rated this like 5 stars, so I am so excited to pick this one up. It looks like it's the perfect Valentine's Day read, so I think I might save it for Valentine's Day, but that's just me basing my feelings off the cover. It could be totally wrong. The next book I got, I actually have already read, but I don't own it, and it's The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I didn't love this book as much as The 7-Year Slip, but I do think it was a really well-written novel. Ashley Poston's writing is just so imaginative and descriptive that you feel like you're in the story. And I really, really like this, and I like the touches of grief that I had in this novel, and The 7-Year Slip, though, by her, 5-star, one of my favorite books I read this year. The next book I got was Same Time Next Summer by Annabelle Monaghan, and I just read Nora Goes Off Script by her and really, really liked it. So when I saw this at the book sale, this is her second novel, I believe, and I was like, I have to pick it up because I wanted to read it anyways. And her books are very, very short and sweet, but I'm excited to see what this is all about. These next books are kind of a part of 2 different series, but they are the books by Krista and Becca Ritchie. So from the Addicted series and the Calloway Sisters series, I believe. I have started the Addicted series. I haven't started the Calloway series. I've talked about how I have very mixed feelings about the Addicted series, but this is the next book in the series that I need to read, so I picked it up, and then these other 3, I believe, are a part of the other series, so we'll see. The next 2 books are both written by the author Sarah Adams. One I have read, which was Practice Makes Perfect, and I absolutely adored this book, and it's been on my list of books to buy that I have read. And so I was so happy to see it there. They didn't have one in Rome, so I will have to buy that somewhere else, but they had Practice Makes Perfect, which makes me so happy. And then I also got, oh, this is a special edition. I did not realize that. But I also got The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams, which I have not read yet, but I am looking forward to reading it. And I know she's writing book 2, I believe, for this series. So that's exciting. Next, I got 2 books that has been on my TBR for a while, and that is Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates, which is, I think, the second book in the Magnolia Parks series. I was surprised they had these books there because this is the new editions that they just came out with, I believe, this year. I do love the other editions more, but I can't find them anywhere anymore. I think they are out of print, so I'm going to have to stick with these covers, but this is definitely on a higher priority on my TBR list for romance novels. Next book I have here might be the last romance, but it might not be. Don't mark my words, but it is Romantic Comedy by Curtis Sittenfeld. And I don't know if this is exactly a romance or if it's kind of like a literary fiction mixed romance, but one of my friends is also reading this right now and she's really enjoying it. And so when I saw it, I was like, okay, I'm going to pick it up so I could maybe read it with her. I think she's almost done it, but I have seen mixed reviews on this. Sorry if the lighting is getting different. It is getting darker a lot earlier now, so it might be very wish-washy around here. I'm going to try being quick. But the next book I have is Have I Told You This Already?, which is I believe, a short story collection type thing by Lauren Graham, and I absolutely adore her, and I adore Gilmore Girls, so I felt like I had to get this. Okay, these next books, they're all kind of a mishmash of different genres. So the next 2 books I have are both by Ocean Vuong, which is On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, and Time is a Mother. These both have also been on my TBR, and I'm really, really intrigued in Ocean Vuong's writing and getting into these books. I've only heard fantastic things about these 2, and I am so excited to dig in. The next book I have is The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. This is kind of like a horror thriller. I haven't read this book yet. I have read some of other Riley Sager's, and it's a mixed bag. I either have felt like kind of like meh about his books. Actually, I think most of them I felt meh about. So we'll see how it goes. I don't own any of them. Usually I read them through audiobooks, so maybe reading them will turn into better review. I don't know, we'll see. Next book, I was shocked to see it there, but it's Rogue by Mona Awad, and I think I only saw 1 copy on the tables there. And this is, I believe, Mona Awad's newest book. Let me see. Yeah, 2023. But Bunny really was interesting. I don't know if I loved it or hated it, but ever since I have read Bunny, I have been intrigued to pick up more books by Mona Awad, so I think this will be my next one. The next book I have here is To Paradise by Hanya Yanagihara. I've read Hanya Yanagihara's 2 other books, People in the Trees and A Little Life, which are right here. I don't know, they might be off camera, but I've been waiting to pick up her newest release. I was waiting for it to come out in paperback, and then I just haven't picked it up since, so I was very happy to see it at the sale. The next book I have here is basically like a collection of different stories by F. Scott Fitzgerald. So we've got The Great Gatsby, All the Sad Young Men, and Other Writings. I have read The Great Gatsby, but I don't think I've read All the Sad Young Men, and I'm not sure what else is included, but I really love these copies, so I was so excited to see this. The next book I got, I do not know how to say, the Naibo Lungenlied. That's what it's called, but it's basically, it says it's a story of murder and revenge, and I think it's definitely German. So a classic that I've never heard of, and was intrigued about it once I read the synopsis and some reviews. The next book I have is Interview with the Vampire by Anne Reese. I've seen so many fantastic things about this book, and I actually put it on hold at my library, and it's been, oh my god. So I put it on hold at my library, and I've been waiting for weeks to get it. So when I saw the copy, I was like, I need to grab it. I'm probably going to love it. So we'll see if I do, but it looks like a very quick and easy and intriguing read. The next book we have is Walden and Other Writings by Henry David Thoreau. So I've been interested in reading more of Henry Thoreau and just this collection of writings and stories. was very intriguing to me, and so I picked it up. That is that. The next book I got, I was so excited to see, and it's James Baldwin's Giovanni's Room, and one of my friends actually started reading this book, and I was like, again, the same one that was reading romantic comedy, she sent a picture of this, and I was like, how did you know I just picked this up? I've been so dying to get into James Baldwin's writing. I've just heard so many magnificent things, and yeah, once I saw this, I was like, need to get it, don't own it. The next book I got was Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre, which is one of my favorite classics that I've read, and I'm dying to reread it. So this is just a really pretty copy. And I do have another copy of Jane Eyre, but it's very beat up, and I got it at a little library near me, and I just wanted a nicer copy. So I'm so excited to reread this and annotate the crap out of it. But yeah, love Jane Eyre. A really great classic, especially if you haven't read many classics. It's one of the first classics that I read and absolutely adored it. The next book I have here is another classic that I also own, and it is Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. I just really adored this cover, and I think it is also a translation that might be easier for or better for me to read. This is a hunker. I started reading this I think 2 years ago, and I got like I think 100 pages into it, but never continued. So I really need to pick it back up again. But look at this thing. I think this is even bigger than War and Peace, and that I'm currently reading. The next book is a little different, but it is a nonfiction book called Longevity for Cats. I'm a cat mama. I am always looking into ways to support my cat's health better, so I thought this would be a great book that I do not own anything like it, so I'm intrigued to see what it says and the things that I could use or adapt from this book. That was box 1. We'll move on to box 2. I'm just going to swap-a-roo. But thankfully box 2 is smaller and has more collections, so we will get through it in no time. So the next book we've got is A Doll's House and Other Plays by Henrik Ibsen. Ibsen is another author that I have been intrigued to learn more of and read more of, so just another selection of plays that I wanted to pick up. The next book I have here, I absolutely adore these editions of classics, and I don't see them like really anywhere, so when I saw it, I was like, I need to grab it, and that is Jane Austen's Emma. I haven't read Emma. I'm really looking forward to picking it up, but just this edition is so beautiful. The next 2 books we have here. Now, I don't always love buying books just for the cover, but I'm not sure if I'm going to love these 2. I really solely bought them because they are stunning, and that is Funny You Should Ask and One More with Feeling. These covers are just absolutely beautiful, and you can't tell me otherwise. I will be picking them up to read. I don't know if I'm going to love them because many people do not, but I just had to. I know, it goes against so many of my own reading and book buying morals, but I had to break the code just this once. The rest of these will go by pretty quickly. They're all just different book sets. So the first one we have here is not so much for me, but definitely my future children. And that is the Magic Tree House book collection. I adored these as a child. They were some of my favorite books. And it's kind of like Chronicles of Narnia, but it's a brother and sister that have a tree house that basically teleports them into different worlds. And it's just so much fun. I remember loving them as a kid. And when I saw this, I was like, I need to buy this. So this is definitely going to storage for now, but I don't know, maybe I'll even pick them up and read them myself, but I just remember loving these as a child. The next book set I got is the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. Now, I do own A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but it is happily going to another home now because I bought this trilogy. I have not picked it up yet, but I'm really looking forward to it, and I think I'm going to love them because so many of my friends love these books. And yeah, so I got the whole series, and it's paperback. I love me a paperback. It is now a running joke between me and my friends and my family about how many copies I own of War and Peace when I have not even finished reading War and Peace. But I have added to the collection because I saw this, and it is the Everyman's Library edition of War and Peace, which is divided between 3 books. And I had to get it. I love Everyman's Library editions. They are so beautiful to look at, and I've slowly started collecting books in these editions, and so I just had to. I'm sorry. But I will be finishing War and Peace this year, so it may be not a running joke anymore, but I do own many, many different translations because it just took me a while to find the translation that I felt like was good for me. The next book set I got, I've been so intrigued to get into this series, especially as I've gotten into more fantasy lately. This series was around when I was younger, and I think a couple of my friends read it, and I was intrigued then, but I never picked it up. And that is the Aragon series, which is like a dragon fantasy series, and I think it's YA as well. Yeah, I'm so excited for this. I can't wait to get into it, and I might even convince one of my friends to read it because she also hasn't read it before. So I think we will do a little read along together, and hopefully I like the series and I can continue it. And I think my nephews might even like it, so I might even give it to them if it's not my cup of tea anymore as an adult. The next book set I got was also a series that I never got to read as a kid, but always wanted to, and that is the Percy Jackson series. So again, this is a series that has been on my mind, and I actually have the hold, or I have it on hold at my library, The Lightning Thief, so gotta go cancel all these holds that I bought the books for. Again, another series I want to start, and I'm very intrigued to see if I will like it as an adult because I never was able to read it when it came out when I was younger. Last but not least, you guys, if you follow me on Instagram, probably saw that I posted this because I think it was one of the only things I posted about this book sale, but I cannot believe I found this there. Now, it is scratched up a little, but I was about to buy this set on Indigo the week before this book sale, and this set is, I think, almost $200, if not more, and that is In Search of Lost Time by Marcel Proust. I've been wanting to get into Proust so badly, and I knew I wanted the physical copy because honestly, with classics, I 100% prefer the physical copy versus digitally because I annotate and write a lot of notes when I read anything that's classic, even modern classics. Things like romances and stuff, a lot of the time you will see me read them as an ebook or through like Libby because if it's not a favorite, I typically don't want to own it. I've been putting this purchase off because of the price, and I am so happy that I found it there because again, if I remind you, basically all of these books were probably around $1, if not less, so that is way different of a price than if I were to buy this in full. Very, very excited. And that was the last book. Thank you all for spending what seems to be, it feels like an hour with me at this point. It is a lot darker than it was when I first started this video, but I'm so excited to get into all of these books, and a lot of them are coming up on the roster of my next books that I'm going to be reading. It is definitely a sale that I take advantage of when I am able to go to them, especially for the price point. It is definitely within my budget, and you know, with Canadian book prices, the amount that I paid for these books would probably be equivalent to around 4, maybe 5 books if I were to buy them full price, which is quite crazy. I got a lot of these books too as presents for friends and family this year, so also so pumped for that. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've read any of these books, please let me know your thoughts down below and if I should read them very, very soon. And I will see you all in my next video. Happy reading! Bye!
Lazy Sunday mornings, hiding under covers. I don't mind staying in with you. Play your favorite movie,